as I'm concerned, pardon the cliche, but I love New York.
Trax certainly seems to enjoy investigative work.
Welcome back to the Talk Dream Hanger. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the Star Toys ST-02 tracker, or their take on a very G1 Trax, and this is masterpiece scale. They also made their Blitzwing, which was a very solid option. And I did get this to shows you. I'll link down below where you can get George TH in the support your favorite reviewers section. But it is a bit involved on the transformation. There's a lot going on with it, far more than I expected. And yeah, it's about an $85 masterpiece transformer. They put a lot of engineering into this thing, and so we'll take a look at it and do some comparisons, a lot of comparisons. And is it the best Trax? Probably. We'll get into this coming up. Here's the packaging box, very cheaply done. I don't care, really. I'm glad they met a price point. They're delivering us a figure. Looks very vanilla posed and doesn't look like it's painted in that picture. But one thing I like to do is to try to match the figure with the pose on the box. Think I nailed it. Am I close? Right, here he is out of the packaging, and I do have to say that he looks fantastic. He is a good looking figure, and I like the paint. There's a lot going on with this dude, and you know, most of it's pretty good. Most of what's going on with him is good. He's very clean. We'll see some comparisons, but he is, you say mistransformed. I think it's more of, yes, it is mistransformed, but it's more of what's the least amount of labor to get this thing built, put together, and then in the box is why so much is needing to still get done to it out of the box. I'm not going to go super into detail on it, but you pull this piece out as part of the transformation, tucking it back in, putting it out. These were down. This piece was from the back. You need to fold it over, bring it forward, and fold it back in there. And then some stuff with the back, just getting this tabbed in and all of that. It is a bit involved just getting them set up. These pieces here weren't tabbed in, and they don't stay tabbed in very well. So I mean, there's a lot just right out of the box to get him set up, which is weird. I know we do a little bit with Fans Toys, Next Transbots and stuff, but this is probably the most that we've seen. And then with that, though, what you're getting out of it is a good-looking Trax figure, and you know, maybe it's just a challenging character to nail. And I think they did nail it. I think it's there. There's no die cast in it anywhere, but you do get some really shiny, glistening paint, which we didn't have paint like this on the first release that they put out. But at the same time, that one still had a nice sheen to it. So it's pretty good looking, though. Every angle works. Every angle looks good. And so you're going to pay for that in the transformation, trust me. But still, with that good looking figure, let's go ahead and do articulation, accessories, and then my favorite part is going to be the comparisons. For accessories, he does come with a stand adapter, but no stand, which you just connect to the inside of here. There's 2 tabs, 2 notches. It goes into there. I'm not going to be messing with a flight stand. I don't really care. So it is what it is. This is for alt mode, the gun in the front. He has 2 additional faces. So his standard one that's on there is kind of like a stern, maybe stoic look. Then these are both kind of like open. I'm not even able to get it on there very well. Kind of open mouth, happy kind of face. I'm not really big on swapping faces, but since we get this one, the hoist goes to Hollywood look. I think that'd be kind of fun to just slap that on there. And I think the character is one that probably needs sort of like a smiling face. Like he's smiling in... It's so hard to tell. They all look almost exactly the same. Not sure which one I'll put back on. And then I do like the fact that it's not just a face. There's enough to grab onto. So you've got like the whole front of the top, the crest of his head there. And that works too. If the camera could pick up what that one looks like. Yeah, that looks more like the character, I would think. Guess I didn't spend any time talking about his gun, which probably his main accessory. And it tabs in just like that. It's fine. It's a gun. It works, fits the character, and tabs in only in one side, which I don't mind, actually, to tell you the truth, but I don't need it to be ambidextrous. All right, so this is the shot that I wanted to get the most out of this, and on the left that's the Super 7 Ultimates. I didn't pay 55 bucks. I think I paid 18. And then over here is the original Takara. And then this is not even the one in my shelf. This is the original that doesn't have rubber tires. And with that, you can see kind of the difference between all of them, which one looks better. And this does look the best out of all of them. I'm starting to even appreciate that Super 7's does look more like the cartoon, but I feel like it's still too bulky. I think all of the Super 7 ones are just a little too bulky, a little too stocky. But let's since we have all these here, let's do a side view and a back view. And the reason for this is because Takara has kind of this gap here, which it never really bothered me that much. Like, some people acted like it was a deal breaker, it was the end of the world, and then it's just cleaner on this. But it's more or less they went about the whole thing differently, how they did it, and we're about to see the back. And I'm not mad at this at all. For the first one, and had we not gotten a great one like this, I probably would just still be rocking, well, I definitely would still just be rocking the Takara. No big deal. It's not keeping me up at night or anything, but here we go. But an improved figure is an improved figure, and that's how it works. As you can see, the back end, you got the whole back end just like one chunk, which makes it for an easier transformation. And here it's broken up into several pieces, and it's just done way differently. Actually, in a way, this is more like the actual G1 figure, which we're about to get into comparison. The way Star Toys did it is closer to the G1 figure in a way. So that's just how that works. All right, for the transformation, it's quite a bit, so we'll get into it. But you want to close the thumb down, close the hand down. You want to open this up, and then you can open this up. Probably using the pin would be sufficient for opening that up. Then we want to turn this sideways, and we're going to roll this in. Turn it in, roll it in, and then close it back. And I think we might have to position that different when we get into that point. Then I believe we can just flip it around for now. I have to get it in the exact position when we get time for it. And coming to the back now, I do want to say, I'm not sure if I pointed this out or not. These little metal clips in here don't do me much good, but untab those and put it down. They seem worthless, like it was a good idea, but they don't do much. So that's a bit of a waste, in my opinion. And then we're going to come back here. We're going to untab this stuff here. And this is tabbed in also, so we can untab this here. And then we're going to bring down the hood, and then with all of this opened up, we're gonna just kind of bring some of this stuff out like so. You know, I do find that odd. See, this side untabs on its own, and this other side, so it's just like the other one doesn't tab in very well, and then this one tabs in super well. But anyway, getting back to this piece fell off, so I'll figure out, it's just, we'll pop right back in place. Actually, it'll make the transformation easier. Anyhow, getting into this, we want to do a couple of things. We're going to be doing a lot of like kind of crazy nonsense with this. So we want to push this in, and then we are going to open this up, fold this down, and then fold this in. Same thing over here. We're going to open this up, fold this in, and then we're going to start rotating. So this sits in there a little tighter than I was thinking. There it goes. That's up. This will enable you the ability to start rotating this around. And then when you get here, you're going to notice that there's just barely clearance to move that around. And that, just barely clearance there. Really don't have to push it past anything. You can just get the clearance and get it done. and then it will go, well, now this is hanging up here. So then we've got this going on. Now what we're going to do at this point is rotate on this joint here all the way around. So this is rotated around. Now that we're here, started at the bottom, now we are here and we can push this in, and then now there's some discussion about whether or not you could get a better, tighter fit with this, with those open or closed. So I'm gonna test both of them, or at least test it with it open like that. And then this is gonna come down and close in. This is gonna come down and close in. So we're starting to form the back of it and keep everything aligned in there. That needs to stay aligned in there. Now we can get the head put in by opening this up, and then we're going to flip the head around, and then it's going to go in. I think I do need to leave it backwards, straight up. I think the best way to do it is put your finger right here and pop. You're going to notice this joint change. It's going to fold over, and then that's going to give you the clearance it's going to need. There we go, to go all the way into it. And then we're going to have this kind of up, and that can come back and tab in. This is going to open up right here, and then we're going to make it go up like so. Then we're going to get into some of the stuff with the arms. I do feel like it's easier if you compartmentalize this, so it's kind of what I'm trying to do here. So preparing the arm, there is a couple things. There's this little tab here that needs to come down. There is this will actually flip around to here and tab in like so. And then we are going to, so I've got this side sort of done. We'll do the same thing over here, but let's keep this kind of out of the way. We are going to bring this down, and what we want to do is to bring this up, and we're going to rotate this around, and we're going to make the wheel well with that. That's one of the things we're going to do. Then we need to turn this, and actually the other direction, because we need the real looking tire go under the door, and then this is on a slider, so, which I might have already accidentally slid that out. Oh, got to get this rear view mirror out first, so that's going to be a huge help. And then now this is going to actually work for me. Hopefully, get in there. It's so close. There it is. Nope, almost there. And it's nice. It has a nice little snap when it goes into place there. So the next thing we want to do is come around to here, and we're going to take this and position it to where, flip this around where it matches up with this. Maybe I had it right the first time. Flip that back around. That's why this is the point at which it makes more sense. Okay, there it goes. We want to flip all this into here, and there's a tab and a slot, and that's out of alignment. Get it all in alignment. This piece here keeps wanting to tuck under, which is making it not align. There's just a lot of pieces, a lot of moving parts to this bad boy as it's going, and there we go. Then we've got the majority of the rear end done. Now we can do stuff with this, but we're still going to have to tap it into the front or the legs, so there's still a lot more that needs to be done with the legs before we can even finish out this little side piece. But this is just going to come out. And I believe it's on a pin, but it might not be on a pin. It doesn't matter. I'm going to pop the other side back in when we get to it, when we're closing it all up. But, you know, my other side popped out, and it'll just pop right back in, even without a pin. You know, that's kind of where we're at with that piece. Getting into the legs, we are going to fold the pelvis into here to flatten that out and then bring the legs down on that joint still. So it's not the first time we've seen that before. And then I'm going to go ahead and work out one leg so the other leg can probably look smoother. All right, so I got one leg down. We're going to do the other leg here. Before I forget, I'm not exactly sure why this matters, but this is supposed to get flipped around. Somehow it's supposed to tab in. Some tabs are exposed. Some tabs are exposed. There it is. All right, now let's get onto this leg because we're about to close all this stuff up and just be wrapping it up. First thing we want to do, fold this down, kind of just like what we did before. We're going to open all this up. Like so. Then we're going to fold this piece out, fold this up, and this is going to come around here like that. And then there's quite a bit going on with this that we're going to do. While it's sort of like this, we can, I guess it doesn't really matter when we flip this piece here around, but let's get this out of the way a little bit. And this is going to flip around. It just feels like there's not any room for it. There's that. Then we got to work on this foot down here, which is quite interesting, actually. Fold open the foot, fold away, fold in this piece here. And then we're going to be making the actual front of this. So we're going to bring this up. This piece here is going to work to make the front, and then we need to keep the foot kind of out for when we finish this up. But it's strange how it works. It's strange how it operates. But anyway, we're going to collapse this in underneath the foot and with that side piece, which feels like maybe I just don't have it over just right. Feels weird. This piece here just doesn't feel like they had a proper way to seat it for this. But anyway, it's about to go in. We're going to get it in. And there it's going. It's going. You want the foot to be out enough that we can get this in here. So I guess that's the trickiest part here, is making sure that that's out. You get the foot in. There we go. And then this stuff will start tabbing together. Let's see what I've got out of line there. Alignment. So it's really getting close there. Is everything aligned? Does this have like a bunch of over and under kind of pieces? All right, now you do want this to still be down right here. Same on both sides. And what you're going to do is you're going to work this. It's kind of like a downward notch. You're going to work it into here. It's kind of a different, everything's the opposite on this side than the other side, of course. With this sort of down, I'm going to kind of get this out of the way so that I can work on this. Okay, see, and it's not going to go in there if this piece is not all the way down. So that's the tricky part. And it wants to kind of go up. There it goes. Now, hold it together as you close that up. There we go. Then we can tab all that in. Now we need to, I seated that one because it was more or less a broken, well, I don't think it's broken. I don't even know if it needs a pin. Yeah, I don't think it needs a pin. Mine just pop out. Of course, that's probably how I'm handling it. And they pop right back in. No big deal. And then this, there's some little notches here. It's going to seat down into there, like so. And then this hood piece, it's going to go all into it, like so. And I believe you're supposed to be able to open the hood. So I'm going to leave it just a little bit open so that we can use that feature. Imagine getting that out is not going to be the most funnest thing in the world. We got to plug all the back piece in now. So let's do some back piece plugging. And here we go. This is probably going to be a little tricky. It's just a bunch of tabs. There we go. Back piece tabbing. All at once. There it goes. And then for here, we're going to fold this around, and there's a tab here and a notch for it to hold into place. And so we're going to bring this up, and there's a little bit more rotating around to achieve that. And where's the tab and the notch? Tab, notch. And just give everything else a big squish again to tab in. And I think we're there. We're going to take a look at this guy. All right, so here it is in its alt mode. And before I close up the hood, I just want to show you can open the hood on it. They had to do that intentionally. That had to be an intentional thing. The reason that I think they stuck with that is because same thing with Takara. Takara had an opening hood. Also, we'll do a full comparison here, but you can see the engine in Takara is painted engine. This is just blue under there, but anyway, nice looking alt mode. Pretty much does seem like there's just a little bit of gappiness here and there, but the more you play with it, the more you can get it to look just right. And I mean, it's just a lot of work. More work than I wanted to go through to get to this mode, but yeah, it still looks okay. Alright, so the paint looks nice, it rolls, and it's got the side view mirrors on it. As with the paint, it has the flames on the hood, and the metallicness of it is nice. It's just kind of like gray rims, not like a metallic silver. Maybe it's a metallic gray, I would say. But yeah, pretty nice. I mean, I think they did pretty good work on this overall. Pretty good job. And with that, looking at the back of it, it's a pretty good, respectful looking car. We got the wings hidden under there and stuff. Kind of where else you're going to put them. How else you can do it. There's a lot of work to get here, though. I do want to point that out. And probably won't come back to alt mode in this one for some time. But I guess let's just, what do we got left with this guy? Get into some comparisons. I think the most important comparison is Takara, and Takara's looks fine. It's a nice looking alt mode right there, and the amount of time gotta put this one back into alt mode is what I did, and I have to say it was easier, but still a little annoying at the same time. But at the end, I kind of like the way this one looks better, but I think the alt mode is where this one would shine versus its bot mode, which I wasn't angry at or upset about the bot mode or anything, but still very similar. Like, if I were to pick one for both modes, I mean, I do feel like Star Toys wins both modes. So I guess it's worth all the trouble. And then even if you look into the windshield, like you can see the head. You can see his head in there, but you don't really see much going on in there. I think that's on purpose. I think that is by design. But anyway, Star Toys, Takara. Here's the G1, and I just cannot get the G1 legs to stay in, and they're spring-loaded. Here's one leg stayed in. Spring-loaded legs. It's so strange, but maybe we should show it with the one leg that's in. It's probably like a clip that breaks on those. So I wonder if we take the spring out, if it'll have any strength to stand if it's transformed. But anyway, there is the G1 where we've come from and where we are now. Like, it's not even where we're going. We're there. Here's the figures that I like to kind of keep in my review area. For alt mode purposes, this is MMC. That is X Transbots 2.0. And that is Fans Toys. Ah, 2.0 also. Yes, it is. Here he is next to Optimus Prime. That's how he looks. Size-wise, scale-wise. Does that work? Works for me. Alright, now we gotta get him into his flight mode. So we can bring this out and fold it out. And then it's gonna fold back under here in a second, so bring it out, fold it out, and then fold up these tires. Well, they'll stay up when we bring these down anyway. Let's we can hold off on that. They should actually lock in place a little better than that, but they will clip underneath that. On top of that, now we need to bring these down. We're going to pull the arms out. So what we're gonna do is swap the door in the arms. That's basically the easiest way of saying how what's about to happen is about to happen, but it's gonna be a little bit crazy. Let's get this done. Get all this untabbed. So this is pulled down. This comes untabbed. Yeah, there it goes. Then it's going to give for us to be able to do it. It's also tabbed into the back here, so, or not the back, but this spot right here. There it is. I guess I could leave this whole back piece still plugged in. That should be fine. Should be fine. Oh well, we'll mess with that here in a minute. Now we're going to push this in. Let's close that up. And we're going to bring the arm out. And this is going to go past it here. And then this is going to... I'm going to rotate it around. What we have to do is open this up. And then it's going to come over here. And then so we're going to have a whole different way that this now will tab into here. And so I'm wondering if I got that up high enough to get that in. This tabs into here. And then this all shouldn't have come undone. I guess I shouldn't have let that come undone. Then we're going to fold this wing down. Well, I guess since this is undone anyway, we might as well fold this up. I knew there was a reason that wasn't a big deal that came undone. All right, there we go. Now we're going to fold this under. And then this is going to tab into this right here for more stability. And all this get tabbed in. Now I'm going to work on that a little bit more. I'm going to get the other side done. I'll be right back. Now this looks like it's almost done, but you got to do something with these doors. So we got to tuck in these side view mirrors. We got to lift these pieces here up. And then seat them into place and proceed to make sure everything else is still tabbed in. And go around and keep tabbing it in, and then you're in this mode for the most part. And yeah, it's okay. It's all right. You want to plug this parts forming piece in to the front. There you go. You just got to get it in the right angle, correct angle, left angle, right angle, correct angle. And then another thing is you could use the stand if you choose to. I choose not to use the stand, but kind of probably plug it in right there for the stand piece. There you go. Gave it a little bit of force off screen. So if you want to plug it into the stand, you can. I have like a dozen of them, but I don't they're in boxes, in the original boxes. I don't display with them. Henceforth, I can't show this displayed on the stand, but it would work. Get the job done, and it holds in pretty nicely. But overall, you get the effect. So this is one of the things that was with the original toy. I don't 100% have. I don't think I got everything to make mine work on my original toy, but not that big of a deal. Gets the job done. Still more work to get to it than I would like to be putting into it, but at the same time, it does have a nice effect at the end. It looks pretty good. It does look pretty good. And you really can't have tracks if tracks can't do this. I mean, it's just the way it is. It's one of those things that you got to have the flying car mode with tracks. And hey, you know what? You just don't have this kind of stuff with every toy line. Transformers has this really cool, quirky stuff that it's like we have to have that, even if we'll probably never put it in that mode. And that's the weird thing about Transformers too. Like we want it to transform, although we probably won't transform it very often. And we want it to do stuff like this, even though we won't take advantage of it very often. At least I won't. But it's there, and I feel better knowing it's there. Alright, so this is my look at the Star Toys ST-02 tracker, their take on a very G1-esque, very nice masterpiece scale version of tracks, and I think they did a good job on it. It's a lot of complicated or just steps to it that's probably not the most fun, but at the end of the day, still comes out looking good. We still have a nice looking figure, and I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm pretty happy with the figure. I'm glad that they made it. I'm glad that I got it. It's affordably priced, and you can get it at Shozy Store for $85. So it's another thing to do there is pick it up for the best price you can. Not sure what other retailers are charging, but I got mine at Shozy Store, and I'm gonna have a link down below where you can get yours too while they still have it. Get it while they got it. I wonder how many recolors and repaints are gonna do with this, because they did do some red and the red Diaclone and a couple of others probably in the past with Takara. I can at least see a red one coming in the future. But let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Tiberium Hanger out.
Chum, wake up.
Oh, man.
Look, I've been shot at, smashed up, and stolen 3 times tonight, and I'm in a most foul humor. So if you will be so kind, please repair me.
That car talks.
I said put him down.
I thought those robots were on our side. You're flying.
By way of introduction, my name's Trax. What's yours? Right? It's painfully apparent we are badly outnumbered.
Let's split. Trax, where are you going?
Out for some invigorating city air. It's too stuffy in here for me.
Well, don't be gone too long.